fine. I'm very curious about to know how this world tour started. It's about to go south very soon, and this weekend that just passed, you played New Jersey with Motley Crue. So we are really curious to know how that was.
That was great. We had a little bit of time off, obviously, since the last summer, with Motley Crue, and we've known the Motley Crue since the '80s, so we're friends and everything. So it's kind of fun. It's like this big kind of grown-up party. Everyone's kind of it's not too crazy. It's just funny, and you just enjoy each other's company. We're all traveling on the same plane, so
Really?
that's going to be really interesting. And obviously, with Motley, Mick Mars can't make this tour, so John Five has been playing, who's amazing, and I know him from before as well. So it's just great, and we continue to update everything, like the production, the songs. We keep moving a few songs around. You have to obviously do, the really popular ones, but we kind of move stuff around, and we're still promoting our new album, Diamond Star Halos. So that's and obviously doing all the favorites as well. So it was great. Yeah, the Jersey show was wonderful. It's a bit hard on my vocals, me personally. I was a bit rusty, although I've been practicing and everything. It was like dry, and it's just a struggle. But by the time we do one more show, I'll be good to go.
Fantastic. And well, it's really nice to hear this John Five performance too, and it's going to be interesting to see him together with Motley Crue. We know he's a great guitarist too, so it's going to be fine. Yeah. And I just want to know a little bit about how you feel about the last year's stadium tour too, with your friends Motley Crue and Poison, Joe and Jet, a little bit of 80s sense, or like having a little bit of vintage feeling. How do you feel about this? Do you feel like in the 80s, or is it too natural to be along with these guys?
No, I think we've played with all of those bands many times before, and we didn't want it. We wanted to make a difference between being nostalgic and celebration, and there's a big difference, and we were celebrating what we do. All the other bands were as well. It was amazing, but there is a difference between going out and being a nostalgia act, because I think that people come back from the dead and just like resurrect their careers. This isn't. I know Motley Crue had been in retirement, but Joan Jett has been playing all the time. Poison's been playing, and Motley Crue came back with a just more energy and enthusiasm, and obviously we're the best we've ever been. Our vocals are great, the songs, the playing, everything is just really good. So yeah, it was more of a celebration of that. But like I said, we're also promoting our new stuff. We constantly put albums out, so not nostalgia but celebration, and it was definitely celebrating all of those bands, and obviously the 80s heyday, obviously, and everyone who came there was like losing their minds. So it was great.
Yeah, I believe that. And this Diamond Star Halos that you were talking about, your last record from 2022, the first album after 7 years. How is it to record nowadays new stuff, new songs? If you had to compare with, I don't know, 30 years ago or 40 years ago, what's the difference? How do you feel now as a band?
So much easier. We done it separately. I recorded all my guitars and my vocals on my laptop, on my Mac, and with software, and it saves so much time, so much energy. And if you're creative, which I kind of am, I'm just constantly getting ideas, it slows down the process. If the whole band is in a studio, you have to travel there, you have to get all of these things, just slow it down. And I the inspiration and the energy that I got from doing it this way was amazing. Me and Joe Elliott were sending song ideas to each other, and we'd have a song in a day, and then we'd be back and forth, and we just play and sing better versions of that, over the top. So For me and Joe, we said that we don't really want to go back to the other way. Obviously, if you're doing something like recording an orchestra, or if it's live drums or something, you need a studio. But I think you have to put it into a perspective. This is so much more inspiring in my case, I think.
Okay, but do you ever meet each other when you do new records now? I mean, are you always at home and sending things?
Yeah, this one we didn't see each other. It was like, and we didn't even Zoom. We were actually just like phoning. It's like, hey, do you get this idea? And texting and sending emails. We just did it like that. And I know if someone had told me that in the past, I'd have think, God, that's so lame. That's so terrible. But it wasn't. It was inspiring, energetic, and enthusiastic. So yeah, give me that. And at 60 or 64 back then, if I can do that at 64 and get excited about something, then that actually means something big, actually. Yeah.
Fantastic. It's really inspiring to hear you say that. Absolutely, for many bands too, I guess. And well, Def Leppard have always been a strong and resilient band, always trying to achieve perfection in music too. And when you play live, we can see that. So I guess it's a way of work that Def Leppard has. How is it, do you feel it the same way? Always achieving perfection, or what's in the front line when you're working on new songs?
Well, new songs, it's you just haven't. It's the same whenever you do it, even if you're recording or doing something live. You have a goal, and when you hit that goal, then it's fine. It doesn't have to be perfection. It just has to be what you hear in your head. And a lot of the time when you're writing songs, that changes. You go off on a tangent and you go, oh, I didn't realize this song was about that. And if I do this makes it more interesting. So it's wide open. I mean, it's like if you're painting something, and you add different colors, you constantly be inspired and open to change. And it's not necessarily perfection, but you do have a goal of you know when it's right or not, basically.
And if you had to compare the way you work together now to the 80s, well, you mentioned that you work from home basically when you do new songs, but now I'm thinking about the rehearsing and preparing to a tour. It's anything different? Do you have a better connection now than you had before, or is it quite the same?
No, it's different. I think once you've we were in the dressing room with Motley Crue the other day. It was really lovely. Everyone's got, like, me and Nikki Sixx have both got 5 children each, and you're different to what you were then. The fact that you have all this experience and you're still enthusiastic about it is amazing, because a lot of people don't get to achieve that. It's very different. We still put all the energy into rehearsing. We rehearse, and the vocal thing, we're constantly doing warm-ups and kind of just practicing and singing and changing things all the time. But it's the same thing when you write a song. It's yeah, you just put everything into it, and but you know when to stop. But like, I think back in the day, we didn't really know when to stop. We go, oh, we're not quite sure about this. I think you get more as you get more experience in life, and with everything else, it kind of keeps moving on. But you've got to be receptive to it as well.
I was thinking about this Pyromania record 40 years ago. It's quite of a big time. And I think it was that time that you entered the band, wasn't it? About that record, Pyromania.
Yeah, 82. And that was my first record. I came in to play all the solos, all the guitar solos. And then Mutt Lange heard that I could sing, so he got me singing on all the backing vocals, and then just had fun with it. It was great. And we had no idea it was going to explode like it did. But yeah, 40 years, that's crazy.
It's crazy. How do you value this record today, 40 years after?
It was so important. It was our breakthrough. It was MTV was happening, so that had a lot to do with it. It was, so in America, we're actually from England, obviously, but it was a different culture with music. Americans are very lucky. They have so much music, and it's very rich all the time on TV, radio stations, and all of that. And we didn't have that coming from England. It was like we had one station when we were growing up. So it was the most exciting period, going from playing a club to a stadium in 9 months, and that was amazing. It was incredible. You have to keep your head, because it can run away with, certainly with, you know, musicians, actors, anyone who kind of has a kind of a success like that. It can change your thought process. But we were really lucky. We've had such wonderful people around us, you know, our management, Mutt Lang. We've always had grown-ups that were more experienced than us, and it was like, you know, having family members to help us out.
Fantastic. Well, it's 4 decades of journey together with Def Leppard. How did you imagine at that point, on 1982 or 83, the future of the band? Did you remember how you have this perspective of what was going to happen? Did you dream or something?
I did, but I never really. I still feel that we haven't achieved as much as I want to achieve. So we're still going towards that. I remember when I was 29, I was like, oh, I'm going to be 30, and we just started the Hysteria tour. And I thought, well, that's kind of old. 30's kind of old. And it's like, and it's obviously not. I'm 65 now, and I feel more inspired and energetic than I did back then. And I think that's a really important thing. There's a spirit about it that's really important, and it's not really the number. You have to, you know, like I said, you know, we have goals, we have ambitions, and things that we still have to achieve.
And what is it?
It's a number of things. It's being, you know, writing better songs. You're always trying to write the best song. You're always trying to be a better performer, and you become a better artist if that's what you are. Then I consider us to be that. So there's always something to chase, and it's not. You want to let everyone know who you are. I mean, you know, we're playing some places for the very first time, and they've never actually seen that. So we want to make sure that the show's amazing, and it's so, you know, there's so much different stuff now, and you know, the way that it's perceived or seen or heard. You know, it's like TikTok or YouTube, or, you know, it went from vinyl, cassette, CD, download, streaming. It's all different. You have to adapt and be part of that, and it's exciting. It's really exciting, actually.
You mentioned to visit new places, and actually it was in 2017 that you came to Chile for the first time in the context of Santiago Rock City. Do you remember something of that time?
I remember a lot of it. It was raining, it was cloudy, and I went up on the cable car, and you know, I'm fascinated with history and culture and everything. So even if I get just 2 hours, sometimes it's like, okay, I'm going to have a look. And you know, when we were in Madrid last time, I'm like, okay, I want to go to the Picasso Museum. So it's things like that. I'm very interested. I do remember the show. We played. Aerosmith couldn't play the show. It was a stadium. It poured with rain. It was freezing cold, and it was the best show of the South American tour. The audience was just amazing. So yeah, I remember all of these things.
People are crazy. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's gonna be nice to see you again.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about this collaboration between Ghost and Joe Elliott. It's really good for the rock industry and for music to see this happening. And I would like to ask you, what band or artist would you like to play with if you had the possibility? Well, I know you have.
Well, Prince. I mean, you know, that would have been awesome. And unfortunately, that can't happen. But I think he's like the perfect performer, musician, artist. He's that top of the list there. Also, the Police. That's my favorite band. That would be cool. As for collaborations, it was really cool doing the thing with Alison Krauss, you know, on our album. She's just got the most amazing voice, and it's obviously a very different genre of what we do, and it worked. It still works. So that was really cool. So it's, yeah, they come up, even though it wasn't really like, oh, we're looking for a collaboration. That one just happened very naturally, as did Joe with Ghost. You know, Ghost are huge fans of Def Leppard, and they wanted they said, oh, would you be on one of these songs? So that come on. I love Ghost. They're really cool. So yeah, that turned out wonderful as well.
Fantastic. Some people could maybe think that the title of your tour, of your actual tour, the world tour, is kind of a goodbye thing, but I hear in your words that you really have the intention of continue playing and doing music with Def Leppard. So I think it's not going to be the last time, right?
So the Rolling Stones, that's our inspiration for playing live. The Rolling Stones, Mick Jagger's 80 years old and he's still out there doing this thing. And I think that to achieve that and to still share your music, go all around the world, it's amazing. And he can do it, but he'll have a physiotherapist, he has a treadmill in his room, he works out, he does vocal exercise, it's constant, but it's really inspiring to us, and all the Stones, they go, oh yeah, but Keith and everything, but no, you try and get up there at 80 years old, 79 years old and do that. It's pretty amazing. You have to be in amazing focus, you have to be in good shape mentally and physically. So that's really our goal. So no, we're just getting started. We have, like I said, we haven't achieved what we've set out yet. So there's still more to achieve.
Fantastic. I would really like to know if you can tell us a little bit of what we're willing to see and hear in this upcoming date in Chile, March 3rd. Right.
So you'll see the best version of us. Every tour we do, it's better than the last one. And the technology's got better. So we've got these screens, we've got the content. Even while we was off, I was with the video directors and creators and that, and going, okay, we need to do something like this, and then it'd come back a week later, so it's a constant updating. The equipment's better, the guitar, everything is just kind of doing this, so you have to go with it. And like I said, we keep evolving the songs, we keep putting some new songs in, changing some out, so it's constant evolving, really. So like I said, you're going to see the best version of Def Leppard that has ever been.
And we're so thankful for that. Absolutely. We know you always do the best, so that's great. Thanks. Finally, I would just like to ask you if you can make an invitation for people to come to your show. Absolutely. Great. So we'll be playing in Santiago, Chile, and again, we'll be back. 2017 was the last time, so yeah, we'll be back, and hopefully it doesn't rain. It'd be great. We loved the audience last time, so if you can be that, then we're happy, and we're going to be the best that we've ever been. So there you go. Thank you so much for your time. It's really great to talk to you. Absolute pleasure. Thank you. Have a nice tour. Bye bye. See you there. Bye.